Hello and welcome back to Podium Pop. My name is Celine and I'm here with Grace. We are a Formula One podcast where we do race recaps as well as on the in-between of races. Do a quick overview of Formula One news that's happening. We also talk about IndyCar, we talk about Formula One Academy, Formula 2 a little bit, and just motorsport in general. There was not a race this weekend, so it will not be a race recap, but we do have quite a bit of fun news to go over. So let's go ahead and pop the cork and get right on into it with the biggest piece of news that we have, which is Fernando.
He re-signed his contract with Aston Martin, and he said that this is his biggest deal ever. So that's kind of making us think that maybe once he's done driving, he'll kind of stick with the team, maybe have some leadership positions like you talked about.
Yeah, like it is, it's definitely interesting because he kind of labeled it as like a lifelong commitment.
Yeah.
Which is always like a little dude,
what did Lawrence do?
What did Lawrence do to you? Did you sign away your life? Are you okay? Blink twice if you need help kind of thing. But, his name is always thrown around. Like, he's been in the sport for so long, over 20 years. The resume to back himself up to move from a driver into a team leadership position, it would be Fernando. He does. I mean, even considering his relationship with Lance, and Lance has gone, in many interviews and talked about how Fernando's been really a good mentor for him.
Mm-hmm.
Lance has kind of lucked out with teammates because
he's been so lucky.
I mean, Checo's a great racer, but then he also got Sebastian Vettel. He got Fernando Alonso. He is getting Lawrence is actually not trying to find great people to be a teammate to Lance. He's just trying to find people to help Lance get better.
Yeah,
and I can appreciate that.
You know what?
But his name is thrown around quite a bit when people talk about moving into a team leadership role, and whether that be straight into a team principal, I doubt it. He'd probably have to have some steps in between. But the potential is there, and it really sets him up for success in the future, especially because we knew, I can't imagine he's going to be in Formula One for, that many more years. I would say, 5 max is how much longer he can be a driver. But I don't think I can't see him doing anything else other than being in the world of Formula One.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
a lot of people are joking that he's trying his career to outlive Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
Which, it already has.
Yeah.
But, he's going to stay until Lewis retires.
Yeah, he's I can't be, out of me and Lewis, I can't be the first to go. Yeah. It's just not possible. I do wonder, putting in perspective how many years Lewis has left. Because Lewis is not, he's no spring chicken anymore either.
Spring chicken?
Spring chicken. I made that up. I don't think I made, but I could have.
It was fun.
He's no spring chicken. But I think that he'll definitely be in it for at least another 5 years as well. I mean, he just joined Ferrari. I think it's really going to be dependent on if Lewis gets in a championship. If Lewis gets a championship, I think he'll get the championship and pull a Nico and be thank God, this is what I needed. That's what I was waiting for. I'm good.
Yeah.
Same with Fernando, honestly. I think if Fernando got another championship, he'd be okay, I'm good.
Actually, I can see that.
I'm okay with that. I'm ready to go. But, so we talk every single episode, we talk about the silly season, the incoming silly season, just with there being so many open seats for next year and so many contracts up for 2025. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Just,
your volume. Sorry. I was trying to help you. There you go.
It's also about your birthday present too, so I'm glad you didn't see anything. Well, let me just do not disturb it. Okay. But we talk a lot about the driver seats and the lineup for next year, and with Lewis moving to Fernando, whoa,
are you okay?
No.
With Lewis moving to Ferrari. It opens up a lot, and then Fernando signing to Aston Martin also opens up a lot for the Mercedes seat, because Fernando was a big contender for that. And earlier this weekend, on Thursday, I think, there were big rumors that Carlos signed with Mercedes and that they offered him a 1+1 deal. And so we were okay, he's going to Mercedes. We figured it out. It was still a rumor, but we've seen rumors manifest into big things.
Quite a bit, actually.
Quite a bit. So we all thought the coast was clear with that, but then literally today I saw somebody who's, it was a TikTok video, but he's very credible. His videos are good. I forgot what his name is.
I don't know which one it is.
I'll send it to you if I figure it out. But he talked about how another publication has reported that Kimi Antonelli is still the number one that Mercedes wants, and Toto has admitted that it's a regrowing era for them, and they want a young driver to be in that growth with them. Mm-hmm. So we don't know what's going to Mercedes.
I mean, we said it last episode. This would be the perfect season to bring a rookie in because of the new regulations coming in 2026. Mm-hmm. The years they're getting away from me. They're blurring together. But I do think that this, Fernando confirming his seat is just the first domino falling for all of the other things that are going to happen. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot more traction sooner rather than later. We know a lot of the big players need to get their seats filled, and the big drivers need to get their seats confirmed before the lower and middle range teams can even start talking about contracts, because that's going to affect a lot of things. So Carlos, he needs to probably figure out his seat in the next couple of weeks. Definitely that second Red Bull seat with Max, I think, needs to be confirmed in the next couple of weeks. I think even Helmet went on record and was we need to, really decide if Checo's going to stay with us within the next 2 or 3 races. Mm-hmm. Even the RB seat, with Daniel Ricciardo, even for this year, that's still kind of up in the air, and we'll kind of see how he does in the Chinese Grand Prix. But before before Sauber can decide who's going to be in their seats next year, they need to see what's going to happen. Because if Carlos doesn't get that seat at Red Bull and he doesn't get the seat at Mercedes, then all the other teams are going to be snapping him up. Yeah. But they don't want to offer, they don't want to offer a contract to another not as successful driver, and then 2 weeks later Carlos is hey, anybody got a seat?
Yeah.
You'd be oh crap.
You'd be we're actually gonna have to go back. It's in the contract.
There's a stipulation there, except for Carlos.
Yeah.
Carlos clause.
The Carlos clause.
Mm-hmm. So I think we'll start seeing a lot more from the higher up teams, and then as those kind of come out, then we'll see more from the lower teams.
Yeah.
I saw an article that Nico Hülkenberg is talking about as well for seats, which it kind of shocked me. I don't know why, but in my head, he's staying at Haas or he's leaving Formula One. And I never even really considered an alternative. I don't necessarily believe that article. I think that there is a good chance that he's probably just going to stay with Haas.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's interesting that the article came out, and I think it's, I don't know. I was shocked by it. Of all the people to kind of be thrown around with wanting to leave their team so early, I don't even know if he wants to, but gotta ask around.
Maybe someone like him is also always looking. You know what I mean?
He is. I mean, he's definitely later in his career than a lot of the other drivers, so he's also probably knows that there's a chance that, either him or K-Mag are going next year.
Yeah.
If they don't, they're going to lose a chance to sign Ollie, and that would be
I feel
disastrous.
Ollie's almost a given. He's going to be at Haas next year.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty interesting. I don't know. I was shocked to hear that. But like I said, I think things are going to develop more, and we're going to figure out soon, hopefully.
Yeah, so I cannot wait. When you talk about Joe's helmet.
Yeah, and it's a beauty.
It is, I think, my favorite helmet.
Of all time.
Oh my god, of all time, yes. I'm obsessed with it. It's so good, and I am also a girlie who loves public transportation.
She does.
I do. True. I do. So the fact that it's the Shanghai subway system I love it. I think it's amazing and pretty unique.
Yeah. I like how, using Logan Sargent's helmet as an example, I love Logan Sargent, I love his helmet. Very America. But it's very classic helmet. Whenever you see it, it's a different amount of colors, but it's still pretty much the same structure as most helmets in the past.
It blends well.
And I think that more recently we're getting more and more creative helmet ideas, like Alex Albon's helmet being just the two colors, Lando's helmet being more of a organic design, less I don't know how to describe
blocky.
it. Less blocky. That's a perfect way. And then with Joe's being very creative and definitely like more.
Well, it's all floating.
And same with Oscar's helmet for his special helmet for Australia. Like they're very like specific themed helmets, rather than just having like one print all over. Like it's interesting. It's interesting to look at. It's cute. It's new. It's fresh.
Fun and fresh.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I love it.
And can we talk about how excited I am for his first home race in Formula One?
It's gonna be. I'm so excited for him.
I love him. I think he's just a sweetie pie. He's got great fashion.
He does have
fashion. I want great things for him. I do fear that he's not going to have a seat for next year. That is a fear of mine. Yeah. So I really hope that he has a good race this weekend to hopefully like make some good memories for him. I mean, I hope he's in Formula One next year, but I'm nervous about it.
And we need Sauber to fix their sticky nuts.
Yeah, they need to get those sticky nuts under control.
It's been too long.
It's literally every single race you've had an issue with your sticky nuts.
You can't have nuts sticky for that long.
You can't. You should see a doctor.
It's a health hazard.
It's a health hazard. It's frankly, yes. Yeah, hopefully they get the pit stops together. Again, like, it's just, I want it to all go good. I want him to get points. You know, Yuki got points last weekend. I want Joe to get points this weekend.
Let's be real, I want Joe to finish the race.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you know what? Let's continue the trend and the race after. If Logan can get some points in Miami, if Logan gets points in Miami while I'm in Miami,
you guys, I'm gonna be a college kid burning couches after their
team we're gonna burn some couches for sure.
My neighbors heard me say this.
Yeah, your new neighbors.
I just moved in. They're like, oh, she's gonna burn couches.
She's one of those. But no, I think it's exciting. It's going to be, I'm a driver. We haven't raced for China in a very long time.
Since 2019.
You got the receipts. Yeah, you're ready.
Because the 2019 rookies were the 2019 rookies last time they raced there.
And so I'm excited that they got that contract set up and continue to race there with Joe on the grid.
Yeah.
Which is super exciting.
Should we talk to our other show?
Yeah, we have to.
There's a new family member, and his name is Leo Leclerc.
And he's adorable.
He is so cute. So Charles was like pictured with a dog. He was like holding him. Oh, he's holding him so cute, like the crook of his arm. And everybody's like, oh, like it's his friend's dog, whatever. And then somebody like posted, I think it was on their Instagram story, and said like it was like a friend of his or something that said Leo Leclerc, and it was like the dog in a Ferrari car, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, is that Charles' dog? Like Leo Leclerc, da da da." And then Charles went, and somebody tweeted it. It was like, "Oh my God, is this Charles' dog?" And then Charles went and liked the tweet, basically confirming that is his dog, and it was really cute. They brought him to the gelato event,
which is another piece of news for Charles.
Yeah.
Everyone thought he was starting a clothing brand. He's starting an ice cream brand, and like. It feels out of left field, but then also like you think that he posted the picture,
the Easter eggs,
of during winter break of him with the ice cream in like in the snow, and everyone was like, why?
He's like shoulder deep in the snow eating ice cream.
But then again, it's just like, oh,
that's Charles,
classic Charles, doing some crazy stuff. But then now he's starting an actual brand.
He pulled a Taylor Swift.
He did. Wow. And honestly, I'm excited for him. I think it's a fun little venture that he's doing.
Yeah.
I wish that he was selling it all around the world, because I would love to go to my local Kroger and pick up a pint of the Charles.
How's brand pronounced? I know it's LEC. Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm scared to say it wrong because I don't. You're the one that's learning French.
Ooh. Yeah, but it would just be Lec.
Yeah, I did look it up to see if that means
Lec,
something.
like lick. It sounds like lick.
Oh my gosh!
Is that why you did that?
Lec.
Well, if you think about
because it's anybody know over there?
I guess because it's Leclerc.
I feel like we just need to find like an interview of him pronouncing it.
Yeah.
I watched the promo video and thinking about it, I don't know if he ever said the name of it. He talked about the flavors. It's
vanilla love.
Yeah, they're really funny. Like if he was anybody else, the way that Charles acts. I might get hate for this. sometimes the way that he acts is like, if it was anybody else in the world,
yeah, maybe.
But like, it's so endearing because it's Charles.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I don't have a problem with that. I'd like to keep it up. But it's just like funny, like his description of the flavors, and he's like, I don't know.
It's fun. I love it.
Yeah.
No, I'm obsessed.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, his little dog is so cute. People are already, all the Twitter girlies are like, Leo and Roscoe together, because obviously Lewis and Charles will be teammates next year. I would love to see a picture of.
That'd be so cute.
Of Leo, Charles, Lewis, and Roscoe.
Oh my god, that'd be too cute.
Put that on a calendar and send it out to all the Ferrari fans.
Oh my god.
They'd eat that up. We gotta stop. We need to stop hanging out with each other. We're laughing so much. Ew. Okay.
Anyways. Reactions to we both went.
Stop.
Oh, God.
Anyways. Refocusing. Very excited for Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited for Leo. Welcome to the fam. Mm-hmm. I want him to make Leo an Instagram.
Oh.
Roscoe has an Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
What's Joe's cat's name? Kettle corn?
No,
Sweet corn. Sweet corn has an Instagram.
I also know nothing about his girlfriend Alex, but I feel like she would love that too.
Yeah, I think she would love it. I almost said it again.
Eat it up.
She'd eat it up.
Like the ice cream.
Mm-hmm. She'd
mm-hmm. Next order of business.
I'm okay.
Celine has a cough.
I'm okay.
A couple of the drivers were at the Monte Carlo Masters tennis match. Mm-hmm. We saw George, we saw Carlos, we saw Charles, we also saw Lando. And unfortunately, the Twitter girlies popped off in a negative way.
Yeah.
About Lando. He brought a girl there. I'm going to be honest, I know nothing about her. I don't even know her name.
We've never heard of her before.
And everybody's like being weird. Giving One Direction 2013 vibes again.
Yes.
And literally not even confirmed that they're dating. They've also like hung out before, been friends with you before. So stop being weird when a driver brings a girl into their life, friend, girlfriend, or not. You guys are weirdos.
At the end of the day, it's not any of our fucking business.
It's not our business.
And if they want to go on record and be like, that's my girlfriend, cool. Guess what? Still don't be weird about it. Because at the end of the day, you and me and Grace, we're not going to marry Lando.
You are a fan of his, and you are a fan of his sport and his racing he does. Like, that's what it's so fun to see the vlogs and the content and he was spotted here. Oh my god, he was with Max. Oh my god, da-da-da-da. But like, at the end of the day, we are a fan of his sport, and that's what we watch. And digging into personal lives and stuff like that is so weird.
Yeah. The boy bandification of benefits. I probably would not be a fan of Formula One if it wasn't for the boy bandification. I think it's bringing on a lot of fans. I think it's bringing in a lot of, female fans that I think is going to be super helpful and going to make Formula One Academy much more successful than like the W Series. There's so many benefits to it.
For sure.
But there's also a lot of negative side effects. And these drivers are so used to having, they're not used to having, like, drivers in the past, like, if you think about, like, even like someone like Fernando, who's been in the sport for so long, he's kind of like a good control. When he first started, like, the most that and I think we've talked about this on the podcast before, but the most he's had to deal with were like grown men, like being like, "Oh, what's your autograph?" That's it. And now, like, these drivers, especially the younger ones that like are closer in age to like the younger, fans. And it's not just the girls doing it; the guys do it too now. And it's maybe not even, it's more so just like a generational thing.
It is, for sure.
But they're not used to like constantly being like, oh my gosh, like I have to keep like my relationship hidden because you're going to like talk to your girlfriend's like Instagram page. And I think about that all the time, how like these kids, like Max and Charles and all these, like Lando, all of them like grew up karting because they wanted to be a Formula One driver. They didn't know that they were signing up to be like
Oh
a full-fledged celebrity.
Yes, it's insane.
And like now, kids getting into karting will know that.
Yeah.
Like the people that are in karting now know that. Like one day I'm going to be a Formula 1 driver, and I'm going to be famous on social media. I'm going to be famous on this, and I'm going to get paparazzi, all this stuff. But it was completely different. It was a huge switch up, and it's really just based because of social media. And I think I could write a whole book report.
Oh my god, I could do a book dissertation.
Yeah.
Book
report about it. I could write a book about it, and then somebody else could write a book report about my book.
Like, I just want to know what these people think they're accomplishing by going and commenting on her Instagram, like, stay away from Lando. Like,
it's delusion, and in a bad way.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. I saw one person be like, "Oh my gosh, she's like not good" or something like that. Which, if that's a whole other story. If she's for some reason like not a good person, but then everybody else was like, "Yeah." Nobody explained it.
Because nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Like, it's so...
Yeah. It's bizarre to me. Like, obviously, like, if Lando came up as, like, Celine, marry me, I'd be like, hell yeah, I wouldn't say no to it. But do I think I'm going to marry Lando? Absolutely not. And, like, you have to be realistic.
I saw somebody tweet, and they were like, the video of them at the Masters together, and she was like, they're like, day ruined. I saw this, day ruined.
If that's what ruins your day, first of all, you're living a pretty good life.
Yeah, great life.
And second of all, you need to go out and touch grass or something. Like, that is bizarre to me.
It is, and I know it's a lot of young girls, and it's something that literally needs to be studied. Like, the parasocialness of it all. Mm-hmm. It's so unfortunate, and I think COVID really brought that on extreme because everybody was online.
I mean, but I think it was before COVID, because One Direction, we both liked One Direction before, and, there were definitely fans, as well, and I think it's a maturity thing, because it was definitely always, the younger fans, One Direction was big when we were in high school, and, yes, there were some, weirdos in high school and probably in college that, were being very much so, obsessive, but it was, majority of it was, just these younger girls that, don't quite... Younger people, actually. Yeah. That just don't quite understand, they just don't get it.
And at the end of the day, Lando's not going to fuck you.
Yeah. I hate to be the one to break it to you.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
It's
always Lando, too.
It is. And I always catching strays.
I think it's honestly because Lando, out of all the drivers, I think in the past, has shared most of his life, because he streamed on Twitch, he's very, very active on social media, all this stuff, because he shared so much more than say I don't know, Charles, for example. They almost again, it's just the parasocial relationships. They think because I've seen so much content of him, he's mine, I can claim him, and that's just not the case, because you do not see this for people even Max, who's very much more successful than Lando. Yeah. And you'd think would be more inclined to this.
Yeah.
It's just not the same, because Max is very he doesn't post a lot on social media, and majority of the posts that he do make is obviously someone on his team reposting something. So it is unfortunate that even because Lando was trying to do something for the fans and share a little bit more, he's kind of getting burned in the process of it.
It's also gonna happen. We've seen this happen with other celebrities that get too obsessive.
Harry Styles.
I would say it's the Harry Styles effect. He's gonna go to races. He's gonna do stuff with Quadrant, and we'll see him paparazzi walking into races and stuff. But he's stream's gone.
Yeah,
fun little posts.
You're losing your privileges because being weird about it.
Because that's so discouraging too. Why would I want to post and do his fun little mauve MLB videos, whatever. Mm-hmm. Why would I do that when friends I hang out with are being attacked on the internet and getting crazy comments?
Yeah. So anyways, that rant, it just a little to sum it up is don't be a weirdo on social media and mind your damn business. You can know every single thing about them.
Yeah. Just be normal.
Yeah.
Please.
Anyways, end rant. Yeah. Other huge news that happened. Is they dropped the calendar for 2025.
They sure did.
And there's definitely some changes. So I'm going to pull it up and we'll go through it very quickly. Let me see, where's that screenshot? There it is. So the first 5 races are the same from last year. No. Yes. Mm-hmm. First 5 races are the same from last year, but they're rearranged a little bit.
Yeah.
So this year or not this year. Yes, this year we started in Bahrain.
Yeah.
Next year we will be going back to starting in Australia, which they used to do all the time until most recently. Mm-hmm. So that's exciting. I loved them starting in Australia.
It feels right. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't. Even as like a new fan, it feels right. Starting in Australia, I don't know. Love it.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting for Oscar too. First race is so great.
Yeah. It's a good race.
Yeah.
So they are starting in Australia. Other than that, we're going straight from Australia. They did switch Japan and China. That got moved around. And then they're doing Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. From there, we're scooting on over to the United States and all the way back over to Europe, where we're doing Imola, Monaco, Barcelona, which will be the last year they're doing Barcelona.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're moving to Madrid for 2026. And then back over to the North America for Canada. Mm-hmm. And then back to Europe for Austria, and then Silverstone will be like the first half of the year. And there's so basically the reasoning by them kind of switching around the calendar a lot even from last year to this year and then from this year to 2025. God, the years are hard.
Yeah.
Is they're trying to just make it more
environmentally
friendly. Like moving all the stuff. And this year we've definitely seen a huge improvement, but it's still some of it doesn't quite make sense to me. I think particularly with the idea of, I understand 24 races are a lot, and I understand that triple headers are difficult, but you would think that the Australia race, Japan and China would be a triple header, because they're all right near each other, because they're basically trying to save so many flights. And I get why, except, especially with like the cars, like those aren't traveling a lot.
To move.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of the drivers are going back and forth in between those breaks. I don't know. I'm sure most of the crew members stay. But like the drivers are still going back home or going back to headquarters, and a lot of the leadership there's still flights going back and forth. And as a driver, I think I would prefer to yes, it'd be exhausting, but I prefer to get all 3 out of the way and then maybe have 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off before the next race versus 1 race on, 1 race off, 1 race on, 1 race off, and then moving back and forth.
Yeah, to a bunch of
does that make sense?
Max talked about that too this year. He talked about how I think when they were in Japan, just the racing schedule and stuff, and he was like, yeah, this should have been a double header, and then he was like, oh, just throw on Singapore, could have been a triple header. I think that, I don't know, at least that's what he wants. I could see a lot of the other drivers wanting the same thing.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. There's a lot of factors. We aren't experts. I get why they made some of the decisions, and I don't get why they made some of the other decisions. There's a lot of contributing factors. We'll keep going with it after Silverstone is Spa, and then Budapest, Zandvoort, Monza, Baku, Singapore, and then we're going over to the Americas, and we're doing Austin, which is COTA, Mexico, Brazil, Las Vegas, and then we're going back into the Middle East for Qatar and Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some clusters in there.
But that makes sense.
Which makes sense. There are some that I just don't quite understand, and I know that there's a lot of things to consider.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Miami, you would think would ideally be when they're already kind of there racing for, COTA, Vegas, all of those.
But we realize they can't do that because that's during NFL football season, and they use the Miami Dolphins stadium as the paddock, and it's also right next to it. So even if they didn't use the stadium, that'd be too much for the area to handle.
Yeah, and it's also, you got to consider with temperature and weather, and an example would be another reason Canada. Why isn't Canada either closer to Miami, or why is it not closer with all of the other North American races, again, Austin and all of that? And I think that one, if I had to guess, would probably just be because of weather.
Yeah.
Even moving it a month up so it's next to the Miami race, it would be way too cold in Canada at that time. Because trying to put it into perspective, we are nowhere near as north as Montreal. Mm-hmm. And in May, like, it's a toss-up. It could be like in cold. The 50s, even lower than that in May. It could be warmer than that. It's so, like, it could very well be snowing in Montreal in May. And the same goes for in October if they did it around the same time as, Coda. It could be it would most likely be snowing in Montreal. And obviously you can't race a Formula One car in the snow.
Yeah, that's too much to gamble, being like, is there a chance it's going to snow this weekend? Mm-hmm. And then, you have to gamble that.
Yeah, so that's why that race in particular has to be pretty much smack dab in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
But then the other side of that coin is, again, with Miami, May would still be early enough where there wouldn't be any, football events going on. Mm-hmm. But it would be way too hot.
Yeah, you go any later, it's going to be unbearable.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like May sometimes pushes it for Miami. Because I think, it'll probably be in, like, the 80s or 90s when we're there.
I remember, like, after we booked our tickets, I, like, immediately put the weather on. And I was in, like, I think I put it on in, like, February, March. And it was already, like, 70, 80 degrees.
Yeah.
So, and also I feel like Florida's always a toss-up because it, like, rains all the time there. So you have to get, like, specific times when, like, there's, like, a less chance of rain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I feel like even, like, April would be way too rainy to do.
Yeah, they have the Ultra Music Festival and we're flooded.
Yeah.
Just literally in April.
No. You know what they say?
Is it April right now? In March.
April showers bring May flowers.
I always love that because my birthday's in May.
Wow.
I know.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, it was so frozen during that part. You guys, if it's a little laggy, you're going to have to ignore it. I moved, so I have new Wi-Fi. Maybe I need to get a more powerful Wi-Fi.
We'll look into it.
I don't want to do that, though.
We can do that online.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway. But, the calendar, I'm excited for it. I think it's still 24 races. We haven't, last year was 22, I think. I think 22 races, so this is definitely going to be different. I'll be interested to see what the drivers are like at the end of this season.
I'm a little nervous.
And, like, it's also, like, so, like, hard to be, like, 24 races and then, I get 1 month off and there's another 24 races. Mm-hmm. Like, all the drivers always talk about how, like, they feel like the winter breaks are getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can push it anymore. Like, no. I think 24 has to be the max. I think 24 is a little bit too much. As a fan, obviously, I love it. Like, give me a race every weekend. But, obviously that's not feasible.
What I also noticed is next year it's starting mid-March. Like, our first weekend in December still.
Which means they're probably going to be a little bit more smushed.
Yeah, because this year started first weekend in March.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
Well, it's less breaks in there somewhere.
Yeah, couple less.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see though how the drivers are feeling.
Gosh, there's gonna be some people at new teams too.
Yeah.
Stressful year.
And us also, obviously, the new regulations coming in 2026. So after all of these races with a bunch of new people on new teams, and now they're going to have to completely switch it up with regulations and. Who knows what the calendar will look like with the new regulations coming in, because that's another thing that they're, a lot of the regulations are them trying to get more environmentally friendly, which is a good thing. I think it's a great thing that they're working on. But
I agree.
And then kind of segueing us talking about the weather in Miami. We're so close to Miami.
We're 17 days away, and I don't know where the time went.
Yeah.
Where did it go?
It feels like we just bought our tickets, which we bought them like the second week of January.
Yeah.
It literally feels like we just bought our tickets and we're like, over 100 days. Like, that'll take forever.
No.
It snuck up on us.
It snuck up and I literally remember in February, I was like, February's the shortest month. And then it's going to be March. And then, like, March is going to be quick. And no, it happened. And now we're mid-April.
Mm-hmm. I specifically remember having that same conversation. Yes. Being like, it's going to sneak up on us. We know it. And even keeping that in mind, because we also, like, just got back from a trip. And so I feel like the time before that trip dragged out because we were so excited. Mm-hmm. But then we got back from the trip and we were busy moving you in this weekend. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to be busy the next 2 weekends leading up to the race. And it's just like, I actually literally was this morning. I was like, just thinking, I was like, wow, I looked at my little countdown and I was like, Gracie, there's only 17 days. And you're like, no, that's not right. I'm like,
I whipped my head around so quick. I
literally, I go on a trip for work tomorrow and I get back on Wednesday and we leave out for the race on a Thursday morning. Mm-hmm. So literally when I get back from my trips, it'll be 2 weeks before we go. I'm so excited. Neither of us have ever been to a Grand Prix before.
No.
Neither of us have been to Miami. And I'm so excited.
I am currently status too pale to enter the state of Florida and in the city of Miami. So
we need to get some tan on because if not, we're going to burn.
Actually, yeah, that's a really, really good point.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm going to wear. I need to figure this out.
I'm pretty good on the outfit front, I'll be honest with everybody. You'll see this bucket hat make an appearance in Miami.
I do also have a bucket hat for Miami, so I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah. I think it's going to be so exciting, and we have a lot of...
It's going to be the time of my
And
life.
then we come back from Miami, and then a couple of weeks later, we have the Indy 500. Yes. And we'll have...
my birthday in between. May's going to be busy.
May's going to be very busy.
Mm-hmm. Mid-Ohio?
Yeah, Mid-Ohio. I would like to go to the St. Louis IndyCar race as well.
I think I would like to go too. I think we've talked about this right now on the podcast, but in an interview, David Malukas, which I think I've been saying his last name wrong. I'm saying Malukas, but I think it's Malukas.
Oh, good to know.
He said that that's his favorite race, St. Louis, so I feel like we have to go. I also found a cool hotel in St. Louis that we could stay at. Actually, it's probably going to be expensive.
Probably, but we can look into it.
Yeah, we could.
I'm excited for St. Louis. What weekend is it? Is it just a random weekend of August? Is it August?
I have no clue.
I wonder if it's near my birthday.
Oh, birthday trip.
Birthday trip.
Just like Miami for me.
Wow. Yeah. I love that. Love that for us. It's drivable. IndyCar is like so like not. I don't know. It's like dangerous for us because it's so accessible that it's almost like
why not?
Yeah, like we're like, oh sure, like we'll do a weekend trip there. Like Mid-Ohio is only like a 2-hour drive from us. Mm-hmm. You know, St. Louis is like a 5-hour drive from us.
The drive's not bad. I've done it before.
Yeah, and everything is just like almost like even like the Nashville race.
Oh yeah,
that's only like 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's also 5 hours, not 3.
It's 5 hours to Nashville.
5 hours in Nashville.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies, I guess.
It does. Distance.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just feel like it's good though because we'll be able to attend a lot more IndyCar races than say Formula One, where we probably are only going to be able to do like 2 a year, 3 max. Yeah,
I was gonna say if that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we have Miami down. Mm-hmm. There's always a possibility for COTA. That's the goal.
We're really trying for COTA.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just excited. A lot of fun stuff. We're going to try to, we'll obviously be making some TikTok videos. We're going to try to vlog it. Yeah. I'm excited.
I'm so excited. Like, I can't wait. Like I feel like this weekend was so busy because I was moving and I wasn't really thinking about, like, Formula One or, like, anything. Mm-hmm. And then it's back and, like, now I'm thinking about it again and I don't know. I literally can't even use words right now. I'm just so excited.
So if you are listening and you are going to the Miami race,
let us know.
Let us know. We'd love to meet up with some people. I think it's just going to be so fun. We're going to make some friendship bracelets. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's so hard too because we don't really know fully what to expect. So I feel like once we attend one, we're going to be like, okay, like we know what we're doing now. And I think it'll prepare us a lot for IndyCar as well.
That's a good point.
Because I just know, like, I'm going to be, like, at the race, be like, dang, I wish I would have brought this, or I didn't need to bring this.
Oh, I watched so many, like, videos on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to watch some vlogs. I hope that there's some good vlogs.
We should try to find some.
On YouTube of, like, people going, specifically to the Miami Grand Prix. Not too long ago. Mm-hmm. I didn't see much content on there.
Ooh, interesting. We'll have to do some research.
Mm-hmm. Which will start the content.
Yeah, we will start
We'll set the precedent.
I'm sure about it. Check. Look for a YouTube video coming May of this year.
May at some point. We'll see how long it takes us to edit the footage together.
I can edit a podcast, a YouTube video. Haven't ventured there yet.
More difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, definitely let us know. I think we covered all of the news.
I think we did too.
Great. Well, next week will be the Chinese Grand Prix recap, which we're very excited about. It's going to be a doozy for us. The race is at 3 a.m.
We'll be tired and sleep deprived. You're just going to have to bear with us.
Yeah.
Because we also have like a busy weekend too. Mm-hmm. Good luck to us.
Good luck to us.
Yeah.
Send good vibes to us. We're going to need it for sure.
I could use all the good vibes.
Yeah. So what time is qualifying? Is qualifying also at 3 or is it pushed back?
I think it's also at 3. Okay.
It's going to be tough as well.
Yeah. I have to.
Oh, yeah.
It's a sprint.
Oh gosh. That means that qualifying.
Let's
look at the calendar, because before, when there was a sprint race, it meant qualifying was on Friday morning, and it made me a bitch to work with. Like, because I would wake up early for it. Even my coworker commented, was like, "You're kind of cranky today." I'm like, "Yeah, I got no sleep."
Okay, qualifying is at 3 a.m., but the actual sprint race is at 11 p.m.
On Friday?
On the 19th. Yes, on Friday.
Okay.
So Friday for
us. That's because of the new
mm-hmm.
Thing. So sprint qualifying is Friday morning at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then sprint race at 11 p.m. We can definitely watch the sprint race.
Yeah.
And then qualifying is at 3. I'll probably go to bed after the sprint race and wake up for qualifying, watch qualifying, and go to bed.
Yeah.
And then I already forgot what we're doing on Saturday. I need to figure that out.
We're going to a baseball game on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. We love sports.
Sports. That's why we have a sports podcast.
You're sports girly.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a fun weekend.
No, it's gonna be a good weekend.
But definitely tune in next week for that race recap, as well as
it'll be good.
An update if we get any more news or any
rumors. I think it's gonna be chaotic. They haven't raced there in 5 years. It's a sprint.
The first sprint of the year.
I feel like there's a chance it could be chaotic, so I'm pretty excited to see. Like chaotic in a good way, not like a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm very excited.
Fingers crossed for some good stuff to talk about on our podcast. But thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Definitely leave a comment below.
Mm-hmm.
If you're excited if you're going to Miami, for sure, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Or if you could go to any race, what race would you go to?
Ooh, tell us.
Yep. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.